I think one of the things I've liked most about this format is the little concoctions that you can merge with Sprite. Especially, we have a Sprite Tri-Brigade Mutant pile for you today with Horus cards too. Make sure you guys smash the living crap out of that subscribe button so you guys don't miss out on more awesome content. You know, I've really loved how diverse a lot of these events have started to become, you know, especially looking at this regional here where you have Orcust smashing through and actually winning the event, which is actually kind of cool to say the least, right? Because you want to have, you know, Horus kind of doing its thing. It's a shame that Horus wasn't, you know, the best dominating pile, but I mean, it did win. Your most represented deck in Top Cut actually was Rescue Ace. Not really all that surprised about that, but let's call it what it is at this point in time. We all know how good the Rescue Ace deck actually is. You know, until Year of the Fire gets the chance to kind of come on out here and smash through the next evolution in the meta, where, you know, things are about to get a lot more messy. Well, until that time actually comes, well, you know, this is what we're dealing with here. Now, we also had that Sprite pile that I talked about at the beginning of this video, which actually really does catch my attention here, that you're able to see all of these different packages flowing together and giving this deck an actual chance to kind of step up to bat here, which is pretty good. Hey, we also had a Tearlaments deck in top 8 as well. That's actually kind of cool to see. And we also had Kashtira. I'm actually liked that we've had a lot of Kashtira, at least starting to feel like it's starting to show up out here. It actually is kind of a nice relief to actually see that. And then, of course, Branded. Oh, man. You know, I don't know what it is, but you know, new format, you layer things out. You see Branded come back out of the woodwork here and do its thing. And we had one Fire King deck kind of stepping on up into the arena here and going, hey, you know, I'm still here. I'm still, you know, you'll be seeing me in the future here a lot more. I can't wait. Let's pass on over to this deck list. And our first list we're going to be looking at here is actually our Orcust pile. And I'm not going to lie, like, the amount of bricks that I feel like you are forced to play with this deck is just so astronomical at this point. Like, you just look at this deck and you're like, yeah, you're just asking for dead draws. Now, one thing that I will give this deck, it's trying to play as many options to, you know, kind of alleviate the bricks as you can. That's why, you know, you maximize on the King Sarcophagus, you know, you maximize on the Imsetis here. You want to, well, I mean, you're also maximizing, you play the one Greffer, you play the one Armageddon Knight as well. You want to make sure that if you see any one of these nice ornaments out here, you are getting the chance to maximize on these and have these just work very, very nicely for you along the way. Now, outside of that, I mean, to the question of double orchestrated return, this is an odd one, man. I have a lot of people that would prefer never to touch 2 of this card with a 10-foot pole. But I think more of this has kind of come down to, you know, if you end up seeing it, you know, you can search for the Crescendo a little bit earlier, and it can help out with a lot more of the combo side of things. So I would say, based on that logic, you know, if you are going to draw 2 of this, it's just very unfortunate. We call this the Pot of Desires of the block, you know, being activated behind your once per turn, and it's just a lot of terribleness that is ensued with that. Also, Barricade Borg Blocker being a major help out for this deck. I will say, though, I'm genuinely impressed with the amount of people that have wanted to play Orcust. It's really nice just to see that this deck has the craziest loyal fan base that you could ever actually want to see for a TCG, and I think that's amazing. All right, let's clap for it, everybody. You know, winning a regional. Actually, this deck's been doing pretty gosh darn well out here. Next up here, this is the, yeah, look at this. We have Horus, we have a Mutant sub package, we have the Nimble Angler stuff in here, we have our Sprite package, you have your Tri-Brigade good stuff in here. You figured out that, you know, 60 cards is the way to go here. You know, you want to have all of these different engines getting the chance to flow together to create this pile, as we're going to call it here. Let's randomize this. Let's look at our opening hands. Okay, so look, we got Sprite Blue, Sprite Red. We also have the Nerval, and we open the Revolt. How do we open the one of Revolt? How is my luck that bad? All right, hey, look, we got starter plus blue plus nimble angler. Cool, we have full additional combo here for this. Oh, hey, look, we bricked on Hoppy, but that's fine because we have Fenrir, Kit. Oh my gosh, this deck. I have a feeling that if you were to sit down and actually play through some of the hands with this deck and just see the explosive combo lines that you can pull off with this, I genuinely believe that you would be able to crush a regional fairly easily with this. But you're going to have full mastery over every one of these play lines to have an adequate understanding of where everything is going to go in every which direction. And I think that that's really going to say a lot about what you can expect out here. So interesting stuff, to say the least. This is so crazy. All right. Hi. What in the double-edged sword is this cluster pile? Well, this is obviously we're using the Kashtira pile as the base of this deck, right? You want to make sure that you have a good ground, good level 7s that you can go ahead and extend through, and then use the Horus stuff to do rank 8 plays, right? This is cute. I see we're also doing zombie vampire plays. You know, free little mills. Take something of your opponents on over to your field that looks like it might be a little bit of a threat. Seems easy enough. I don't have a problem with that. The first thing that does draw my attention here, though, is we're playing triple Vanity's Fiend out here. So whenever your opponent thinks that they're trying to get cheesy on you and trying to get a one-up on you here, you just deploy the Fiend and you're good to go. There's also, like, you play these good board breakers right here, so you can take your opponent's stuff on over to your field and you can go ahead and board break with their stuff. It's a tale as old as, you know, Yu-Gi-Oh! Itself. You can just use your opponent's stuff against them, 5-head. It'll put you into a fantastic position. I also see they're playing non-fusion area in here as well. I don't know what has ruined this Duelist day to force them to play this, of all things, but okay, sure. Interesting. All right, what else we got going on back here? Branded, but it's 50 cards? Okay, I also see that branded decks, I've noticed that now that, you know, Chaos Base has gone to 1, a lot more of these builds are just opting to play the Chaos Base. They're like, hey, you know what, screw it, you know, this is our additional copy of Lubellion. We're now playing 4 Lubellions, 5 Lubellions if you want to count this, Saronniers. You have access to Lubellion at all points. Like, Branded Regained is kind of turned into an absurdly stupid good card for this deck. I think the only thing that's going to, you know, kind of challenge this deck a little bit is going to be Year of the Fire. I also see here, now this is really cute, we're playing a copy of the Chaos Creator in here as well. Do not underestimate the revivability that this little stupid thing is going to be able to put on your opponent. I also see that we're playing Ido, the Supreme Magical Force, in here as our gimmick puppet target. It's still a Dark Monster. Still can get Bysteeled all day long, but interesting to see the little options that you can bring to the table out here and kind of shift things up. Like, it's definitely interesting. Also, the Etude of the Branded, you don't really see a lot of people trying to play this card, but this does open up some I'm intrigued, I will say the least. All right, what's our last list for this event? We also have this Fire King pile here. Not even with a complete side deck, actually. When I saw this, I was like, what in the world are we actually doing? Also, this build maximized on triple copies of Skyburn. Alright, I don't know what this Duelist has gone through in the format that has forced them to play triple of this card, but I also understand that this does give the protection replacement effect, blah blah blah, and you want to make sure, I guess, you can have that at all points, especially, you know, in the early stages of a format. Being able to have something like this to kind of brace your deck for impact, I guess does work out relatively nicely for you. But this whole regional is an absolute cluster pile, especially with the mutant. when you can shove all of these engines together and you can play a sprite pile and you can get away with it and manage to top 8 a regional, I think it does say something about the craziness that we're sitting on here. So what do you think about this regional breakdown of all things? Please leave a comment down below, tell me what you guys think, and I'll see your beautiful faces back here in a day, guys. Peace. Patrons, thank you.
Thank you so much for watching. Check out these other videos.